welcome back to VeggiePlot. We're in the polytunnel at the moment. We are going to pop outside, but first I wanted to show you these. Do you remember the beans we sowed last week? These are Aqua Dulce Claudia broad beans, or fava beans if you're in America. And yeah, they've just been in these deep cell trays sitting on the radiator for a week, and they've all popped up and germinated. Well, nearly all, but nearly 100% germination. So I am hoping that, yeah, they do well, but before they get too leggy, they need to come out here, sit in the polytunnel and grow on. Indoors, they just get too lanky and horrible and weak. So yeah, they're quite tough, so they can stay out here now, yeah, until later on and plant them out in the spring. Right, I think we'll just put these up here. Right, I've got something else to show you too, so I'll be back in a minute. Hope I don't drop them. Like a chef at a big restaurant, isn't it? Big tray of stuff. Anyway, do you remember these? Right, let's just put them down. So last week I also sowed, don't want them to fall on the floor, some onions, planted out the onion sets, which I probably should have done a while back. Remember we put some up on the allotment in the last video, but I also sowed some into these little trays just to make sure that, yeah, I got some that germinated. And again, these have been on the Super 7 cell tray grow. They're not mats, are they? But yeah, Super 7s sitting on the windowsill. I had the little lids on for about a day, but it got so condensation-y in there because it was so warm that basically I took them off because I feared that they would start to rot and go mouldy. But yeah, they've all shot up quite nicely, and I know they're doing okay because I don't know if you can pick up, but in there the little white roots, so they are rooting quite well. So I'm going to bring these in here, same reason as the broad beans, just to slow them down a little, and just make sure that they grow at a sort of a slightly better pace. You can see how much they've actually shot up in a week. That's got to be nearly 4 inches tall, that one. So yeah, that's good. So these are going to go onto the tray over there, along with, yeah, these are the sensu yellows. And it's interesting actually, the sensu yellows are much quicker, and these are the electric reds. But you can see they're just beginning to sprout. So yeah, I think these will be fine too. So as with the sensu yellows, yeah, I'm going to put these on the tray and they'll just grow on a lot slower. That's the idea anyway. Yeah, and don't forget, where are we now? We're in December, coming up to Christmas, and it'll be Boxing Day soon, which is traditional seed sowing for onions day. So don't know if I'm going to bother this year because I've got quite a few sets, but yeah, if I see some interesting varieties somewhere, I might try some. But yeah, right, let's put these over there too. Right, really pleased with those, so that's a good start. Let's hope the ones up at the allotment are doing okay too. I might pop up there tomorrow and we'll try and include it in the video. It's getting a bit late here now, and yeah, go and see how they're doing. Maybe take those cloches up that I mentioned to you, we can have a little look at them. So the other thing I want to do is I've got some seeds that I want to sow, some more beans that I want to sow, but I also want to get these leeks out of here. They're sort of been in here too long now, and they need to go outside. So I've got a bed in the garden, and I think what we'll do is we'll get these all broken up and planted up into this bed up at the back of the greenhouse. I think we'll start with these mussel brush. Let's just get a tray. Right, and just like last time, I'm just going to break them apart, tease them apart, he says, gently. There we go, so they're looking okay. So we need to get these in the ground now. They've sort of been out here far too long. That's all those done. Let's head up to the greenhouse, or the bed at the back of the greenhouse, go and get these planted out. Right, here we are. If you remember, we had onions in this bed last year, so not necessarily the best idea to follow straight on with some more with the leeks, but we'll see. So it's got my dibber, just gonna and a leek, got the dibber. Let's make some holes and get these planted. Right, that's got all those in, all the musselburgh. Anyway, all dibbed in nicely. I've made some more holes because I've got plenty more space. I'm going to put some Porbella in here, but although it's a lovely day, it's actually getting quite dark here now. It's probably going a bit grainy on there. So yeah, I'm going to get on with this, finish this, and then tomorrow morning, when I think the sun's out again, we'll head up to the allotment and go and see what's going up there and plant some of these leeks up there. Isn't that glorious? It's a lovely day, but it's very windy and a bit chilly. But I'm in the middle of a hawthorn bush, so I'll just come back out here. It's the next day. So I popped up to the allotment and I brought some bits and bobs with me. Yeah, I brought these cloche hoop type things. So I was going to show you them, and I broke up the rest of the leeks last night and got them all ready. So they're all ready to go. So we're just going to pop up to the allotment, but I just thought I'd show you what we've got. Yeah, this is what they are. This is corrugated plastic, which I've had for years, which has been quite good. I used up on the other allotment and not a lot. And then these are the leeks all ready to go, and these are the hoops which the or the holders which the plastic corrugated stuff goes through. So we'll get all this ready, and then we'll head over to the allotment. Yeah, it's a lovely day at the moment, but it is due to be really pouring with rain all afternoon, so I've got to get on. Right, I'm going to get all this out, get over to the plot. I'll see you over there. I don't know if this is going to be a good idea or not. It acts like a sail at the moment. But what with these in the ground, I'm going to have to find a different way or another way to kind of hold it all down so it doesn't take off in the wind, because it doesn't really pick up, but it is quite windy here today. Right, anyway, let's put this up here where I did the onions and garlic the other day in the last video, and we'll see if any of them have begun to sprout. Can't see anything showing yet. There's no garlic or onions coming. Oh no, hang on, there's one just there. Don't know if you can just see it. One little shoot, which I think is one of the century yellow onions. So right, so hopefully these hoops will help. Right, I'll just set them up, show you how they work. So the idea is that you take your metal thing, which I don't know what you'd call it, put your corrugated through it. The idea is to put one in the middle and then one on either end. You just slide them through like that, and one on this end, push that over there like that. So you basically got one at this end, one in the middle, and one at the other end. And then you poke the little legs into the soil, and then hopefully that warms up whatever's underneath it. Right, so then we place that roughly where we want it. Bit of jiggery pokery, you got that all in. Basically, yeah, you just push the little legs down into the ground. I've got them here, so you can see we've got these little extra leg bits, and they push into the soil, into the compost in the bed, and that will hold it in place. And that should hopefully raise the temperature in there a little bit more, so these should get going a bit quicker than the others. We shall see. This bit which they don't fit onto, obviously, I'm going to put some fleece onto there, and we'll see if that makes a difference. But yeah, I shall just set this other hoop up over here and then see how much we can get covered. I think because it's so windy, I'm worried that the wind will get under here and whip these off and end up in the middle of nowhere. So I'm going to put in a few of these spikes and then hopefully yeah, fix them down somehow or other. We'll see. As you can see, I've banged in these little hook posts, whatever they're called, laid one across the top for each one, and I'm going to fix them with cable tie. I would use string, but I haven't actually got any with me, and I need to get them tied down with all this wind. So I'm just going to fix these, and then hopefully the wind won't be able to get under there and just flip them out, which I think is one thing which can happen to these if you're on a windy plot like we are. As you can see, it's rather open to the elements. Anyway, I'm going to get these done, and then we'll get some of this fleece down, because I did find some in the shed. Right, it's beginning to look a bit dark on there on the horizon, so I need to get a move on. Anyway, I found this fleece. I think people, well, I didn't find it, people were giving it away, so I've got some fleece here. So I'm going to cut this off and then hopefully I'm going to lay it over the top there, weigh it down with some stones, and hopefully we'll see if that makes a difference. So I just couldn't get this all from not blowing around and cut easy. It was a real nightmare down there, you see. Anyway, so what I've decided to do is put this bit of wood underneath and then just run the penknife down, and that cuts it perfectly. Right, okay, it's a three-way thing. a three-way test. Right, so we've got the fleece down on these. We'll see how they do. We've got these little cloche hoopy things going on here, and we'll see how they do. And then we're going to have some, perhaps a couple of rows in the middle, which I'm going to leave and not put anything on. Seems a bit unfair, doesn't it? But some of them might be within this row. I don't know, might be overlapping a bit. But yeah, and we'll see how they do. The difference is obviously we've got different types of onions. We've got century yellow and red electric, and we've got garlic. But yeah, so it's not a really good scientific test in any way whatsoever, but we'll see. Right, the other thing I want to do before I plant the leeks actually is I was just pulling out these metal stakes to put here, but I realised I've still got all these wooden stakes in. These are dahlia stakes, which were used for the upright growing, vertical growing courgettes, zucchini if you're in the States, and I need to take them out. As you can see, they're beginning to rot off, and I want to use these again for next year, so I've got to get all those cleared out and then come back another day, do some weeding, and then we'll go and get these leeks planted out. These did really well last year. If you've never grown upright growing courgettes before, well worth a try. I think they were called Black Forest. They're an F1. But yeah, they got up to about here, taller perhaps, so they were good 5 foot tall by the time we finished. But you do have to tie them up, and I used old socks. Yeah, these double up actually. They're quite good for putting over sweet corn, but also for tying things up where you don't want things, you know, to cut through the crop stem. I've also got a few tree ties as well that I used. Right, see what we've got here, shall we? So, these are all the leeks. Broke out yesterday, so I just put some soil compost over them just to keep the roots moist overnight. But yeah, these are all ready to go. So let's dip these in, shall we? Right, let's get these dibbed in. So they've got some lovely roots on them. I'm not trimming them out here. I haven't got the time or the inclination this time, but so I'm just going to have to twiddle them in and then put a little bit of soil on top to hold them in place. But yeah, some of them masses and masses of roots. And the way to do this, I think, is just to twist them up a little bit as you put them in. That helps. And then just push them down, a little bit of soil. And I might do something different with the leeks this year. I saw someone else do it once. They put sort of collars around them, sort of bits of drain pipe before they really shoot up. So later in the year, I've got some old drain pipe bits. I might put them in about, 6 inches or so, and that helps keep the light out of them and makes them bigger and whiter stems. I believe that's what I've seen someone else do anyway. That's got all those done. Took a little bit of time. I had a few more than I thought I had, but that's all the Porbella Leeks put in and done, which is great. So one last thing I just wanted to have a quick look at was the Mangelwurzel and the sprouts, because I think they need a little bit of cleaning up and care, because obviously with Christmas coming along next week, I need to make sure that I've got plenty of sprouts. But looks like we're doing okay. We've got a few going a bit mushy on the outside, which is not good. I'll clear all that up in a minute. But yeah, I think most of them are okay. So we shall hopefully have some sprouts for Christmas. Not bad. And the Mangelwurzel, well, they're enormous, aren't they? Look at this. Look at this one. This isn't the biggest. The biggest is over there. But yeah, look at this. Isn't that a cracker? You can see it through the netting. Let's bring it out. Yeah, that beauty. It's good. I saw a recipe actually on Instagram the other day. Can't remember who it was, but they were basically turning a turnip into, like, they call it sliced ham. So they basically treated it like a ham. So basically you baked it and roasted it for ages, then you sliced the top, put cloves in it and so on, honey glazed it, and then sliced it thinly and had it in a sandwich, and it looked delicious. So I thought what I would do is, because quite a few people have asked me, what do you do with a Mangelwurzel? And well, we've roasted them in chunks, a bit like you do beetroot. And actually they're sort of a cross between a beetroot and a turnip. They're sort of a bit more earthy, but sweet as well. So, and sort of striped, white, red and white lined stripes. So that's what I'm going to try with this. I'm going to try and do a recipe, and I'll put it up for sort of a sliced ham Mangelwurzel, but we shall see. Don't know. Might work out, might not, but it's worth a try. Okay, right. I was going to go back and sow some seeds, as I said, but I think this video is probably getting a bit long, and you've probably had enough by now. But yeah, we've got a couple of things there. And might pick some kale and chard, but I think might get one more video in before Christmas. Maybe Christmas Eve, maybe get a video done next week if it doesn't pour with rain, which it looks like it's going to. The other thing is, yeah, I've released a podcast. If you hung around to the end of the last video, you would have seen that I was doing a podcast, a VeggiePlot podcast, which you can get on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and also on YouTube. If you go along the tabs on my account, you'll see there's a podcast account, and you can listen to that, and it comes out every Tuesday. And I've got one coming out next Tuesday, specifically about how to escape the crazy family Christmases, which sometimes we all have to endure. Not me. I have lovely Christmases just before my family see this. I won't be coming to the allotment at Christmas, but if you need to, I've given you all sorts of really good times to escape, and also yeah, things to say to sort of make it justify it and so on. But anyway, yeah, check out the podcast and let me know what you think. Okay, right, got the leeks in, that's all good. Got the things up here all covered in the hoop beds, so pleased with that. It's been a good day. Okay, have a great weekend, folks, or whenever you see this. Hope you have a lovely week. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.